guys, it's Self.Branded. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. And for all you returning subscribers, thank you for coming back. Today we are going to discuss Marjorie Harvey and the untold shady truth about her life. Maybe that might shed some light on why her daughter acts the way that she does. But before starting the video, please like and subscribe for future content. All right, let's get into it. So, as we know, Marjorie Harvey, she is the third wife of the comedian, TV host, producer, author, and actor Steve Harvey. She's well known to be a quote-unquote American celebrity, designer, and fashion blogger. She's also the mother and model of well-known social media influencer Lori Harvey. Marjorie was born in the U.S. October 10th. She's both American and African. Her second surname was Woods, acquired through one of her previous marriages. She, in early life, is not publicly known in more detail. Now, she was once found herself in the middle of one of the largest drug busts ever, but nowadays she is far from the wreckage of that particular way of life. So, how did she get from Memphis's first lady, from ruling the drug lords, to guarding Steve Harvey's bag? Steve Harvey decided to settle down for the third time with his now wife Marjorie in 2007 when he assumed he'd obtained the lady of his dreams, and perhaps he did. Yet Marjorie's rags to riches narrative may be even bigger than Steve's. According to Steve, Marjorie first grabbing his eye in 1990 after coming up late to one of his stand-up shows, and has been linked both to first husband and her, one of Memphis City's largest heroin dealers, and her second alleged his cousin for over 30 years. Steve says, "I don't know who this is, but I'm going to marry her." He reportedly boasted as he closed the space between his big lips and the microphone. Steve was serious, but Marjorie was hesitant. After all, she was still married at that time, but they did started dating for a while. Now, what I'm about to say next, this again could shed light on Lori Harvey. So, when Steve was chasing Marjorie, it abruptly came to an end. The phone calls and communication ceased to stop. So, Steve was blaming his lack of financial security for their breakup, as he was building his finances at that time. And during this time, Marjorie was preoccupied serving as a quote-unquote ride or die for Jim Townsend, her first husband and formerly active drug dealer in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, he got caught because he was trying to buy some cocaine that was the size of a quote-unquote 12-year-old boy, and he was caught and given a life sentence in jail. Marjorie, she is drawn by the flashy automobiles, big bank accounts, and before she knew it, she had been married to Jim and given birth to two of his children, Jason and Morgan. Now, don't get it twisted, you guys. She was caught up in the midst of all of this that was going on with this illicit behavior, but he said that he wasn't going to turn on his wife because she is the mother of his children. Of course, he wanted her out to raise his children. So choosing to withhold that information led to her being arrested. It just didn't last long. So Jimmy says, "You want to manipulate your way into a millionaire's heart and try to keep my kids away from me. So I'm going to express the truth in love." But guys, before I dive deep headfirst into that, I want to back up a little bit and we can talk about Marjorie's second spouse, who was Darnell Woods' cousin, or Lori Harvey's real father, just 5 years into Jimmy's prison term. Darnell is also a drug dealer. See, she's trending in the wrong direction. So she does mess with men who do have money, which I guess I don't fault her for. But again, this is steering how Lori also interacts in her relationships. Darnell and his family are reportedly members of the notorious Memphis mob gang founded in the 1980s at the height of the crack epidemic that terrorized the country, using the number of car washes, nightclubs, hotspots, according to Tennessee's biggest drug bust that was linked to his brothers and other relatives. Before being apprehended, Darnell was charged with a number of crimes, including conspiracy to possess and distribute kilograms of cocaine for the purpose of distributing marijuana. The Memphis mob had a long career. But before he was convicted, he and Marjorie welcomed their baby girl, Lori, in 1997, and would end up tying the knot 3 years later before divorcing in 2000. Whole time Marjorie was with Darnell, she kept tabs on Jim Townsend and vice versa. Whenever Jim had hit her up, she answered, no questions asked, no matter what she was doing. Now, once Steve Harvey learned that Marjorie was back on the market and that she was divorced, he instantly felt that she was the one for him because he was finally financially and emotionally stable enough to take care of a woman of Marjorie's caliber. I guess he was just trying to like woo her, quote unquote. So it didn't matter that he was married to another woman at that time, which is crazy. So there's so much deception around them. It doesn't surprise me that Lori is the way that she is because look at the people that were her examples. I'll digress. During that time, Steve had been happily married to his second wife for several years, as well as Winton, his son's mother. Mary Shackelford claims Marjorie persuaded her son, Winton, to cut all ties with her, which left her son not only refusing to speak to her, but also out here calling another woman mom, while ignoring his real one. Mary also claims that she completely blindsided when Steve hit her with those divorce papers, and she was even more blindsided when he had been sneaking around with Marjorie for Lord knows how long. So in 2007, they ended up taking their relationship to the next level. They got married, blending their families, and they now have been married for about 16 years as of 2023. Steve says he's more head over heels now in love for Marjorie than he's ever been. However, his ex-wife Mary says it's all a facade. So let us get this straight. Marjorie married to 2 kingpin drug dealers, Steve Harvey's bodyguard, before the bodyguard put in a good word for Marjorie and eventually ended up securing Steve. So this is how she played the game. Now let's go to her daughter, because that's how she's kind of playing the game right now too. But I could be wrong, but I mean, like mother, like daughter. Despite her stepdad, Steve Harvey, being the author of one of the bestsellers, Act Like a Lady, Believe You Are a Man, she reportedly learned how to do it from him, one of the top teachers ever. Now, this is where things will get a little hectic, probably for Marjorie. So what happened was her first husband, Jim, who got released from prison because he was pardoned by Obama in 2017, after serving 26 years, he's writing a tell-all book, Snakes in the Garden, which he'd been working on since the time he spent behind bars. And we must say it is a nail biter. Jim claims not only that his ex-wife pushes dope, but also knows all about how to finesse, someone like Steve. I don't know. I'm here for the tea. So tell me what you guys think about it in the comments. I will definitely be sure to tune in. And until next time, you guys know what it is. Be uniquely you and stay self-branded. Stay self-branded.